Chosen one. You are not here by accident. Heaven pulled you into this exact moment because your spirit is standing on the edge of a supernatural breakthrough. What you are about to hear is a divine unveiling, a revelation reserved only for those whom God has chosen to elevate, protect, and empower. Anointed one, you have stepped into your Kairos time. The wealth transfer, the spiritual upgrade, the divine reversal long written over your life is beginning now. As Scripture says, when deep calls unto deep, something awakens. Open your spirit. Heaven is about to confirm what your soul already knows. Chosen one. Before we go any further, I need you to understand something at a soul deep level. You are not listening to this message by coincidence. Heaven aligned your steps, adjusted your atmosphere, and placed this revelation in front of you because your spirit is standing at the edge of a breakthrough you have not yet fully recognized. The exhaustion you've been carrying, the strange heaviness that settles in your body, the mental fog that comes and goes like passing weather, none of it is random. It is the residue of battles fought in dimensions your physical eyes cannot see. And those battles were not small skirmishes. They were cataclysmic assaults designed to stop a destiny that is far bigger than anything you've imagined for yourself. Anointed one. The truth is that you have been operating at a spiritual level so elevated that even you have not grasped the fullness of it. You have been waking up each day thinking you are simply surviving, simply functioning, simply doing your best. But in the unseen realms, your very existence has been a declaration of war. And without conscious awareness, your spirit has been defeating forces that have trained for centuries to break souls far less resilient than yours. This is why heaven is speaking now. This is why this message found you at this precise moment. There is a divine transfer prepared for your life, financially, spiritually, emotionally, and territorially. And before heaven releases it, you must understand the magnitude of who you are and what you've already overcome. Chosen one. I know the kind of tiredness you've been feeling. I've lived through it myself, the kind that doesn't come from lack of sleep, but from invisible pressures that try to sit on your chest and steal your breath. There were seasons where I woke up feeling like I had run a marathon in my sleep, where I questioned why simple tasks felt heavy, where my body asked for rest while my mind didn't understand the cause. Only later did I realize that my spirit had been fighting battles while my conscious mind was trying to live a normal life. That same revelation is coming to you now. You're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because you won a war you didn't even know you were in. Anointed. One, heaven needs you to see this. You are not just surviving attacks. You are annihilating them. You are dismantling strategies that were built specifically around your weaknesses. But those weaknesses no longer exist in the ways your enemies remember them. You've grown too much. You've evolved too far. You've healed in places you didn't even realize had healed. And because of that, the traps that once worked on you no longer penetrate your spirit the same way. This is why the enemy escalated tactics. This is why the pressure intensified. This is why your spirit felt overwhelmed while your mind was confused. It was not because you were failing, it was because you were winning too easily. Chosen one. Your victory rate in the unseen realm is the reason heaven is preparing to trust you with more. When God sees a warrior who wins battles without collapsing, without losing heart, without surrendering purpose, he knows that warrior can be entrusted with influence, impact, and inheritance. You have demonstrated strength under pressure that would have shattered others. You have endured internal storms while still showing up for your responsibilities, your family, your work, your mission. That kind of resilience is not normal. It is supernatural, and heaven rewards the supernatural. Anointed One. Listen carefully. You are stepping into a season where hidden victories will produce visible rewards. The battles you fought unknowingly have already cleared pathways in the realm of the spirit, pathways that lead directly to financial elevation, divine opportunities, and relationships aligned with your purpose. You didn't just defeat 1,000 demons, you removed 1,000 barriers between you and your next blessing. And heaven is now positioning you to receive what those forces tried so desperately to block. Chosen One. I need you to breathe and let this truth settle into your bones. You are stronger than you know, holier than you realize, and far more protected than you ever imagined. The exhaustion you've been carrying is not a sign that you are failing. It is the signature of a warrior who has been operating at a level of victory that even hell cannot comprehend. And because of that, your next chapter will not look anything like the battles you've endured. The tide is turning, the pressure is lifting, the divine transfer is approaching. And now that you understand the weight of what has already taken place, we can go deeper into what heaven is about to release next. Chosen One. Now that you understand the magnitude of the battles you unknowingly fought, it is time to look deeper into why heaven allowed you to experience such intense spiritual pressure. Every chosen vessel goes through seasons where the weight of the invisible tries to break their physical body, not because God wants them crushed, but because God is preparing them for expansion. Pressure always precedes promotion. Warfare always precedes elevation. And exhaustion, the kind that feels ancient and heavy, is often the final sign that a divine transition is already underway. Heaven did not allow these attacks to expose your weakness. Heaven allowed them to reveal your capacity. 1. One of the greatest mysteries of spiritual life is that you often meet your true strength only when you are too exhausted to fake anything. There were days recently when your mind whispered, "I can't do this," while your spirit stood up and kept going anyway. That contradiction is the evidence of your calling. Ordinary people collapse when their energy drains, but chosen vessels, even at 5% strength, still carry an atmosphere that makes darkness tremble. I remember my own season like this days, when I felt like I was walking through mud, dragging myself through responsibilities, wondering why everything felt heavier than usual. I didn't realize then that I was being strengthened for a level of blessing that required spiritual muscle I didn't yet possess. The same is happening with you now. Chosen One, heaven is preparing you for increase, not in a small symbolic way, but in a life-shifting, destiny-defining way. The divine transfer that is approaching your life is not the kind that arrives quietly. It requires structural reinforcement of your spirit. God would never pour a flood of blessing into a vessel that hasn't been pressure tested. And you, without realizing it, have already passed that test. The exhaustion you've been feeling was not just from battles fought, it was from spiritual expansion. Your capacity is larger now, your discernment is sharper, your endurance is deeper, and heaven can entrust more to a vessel that does not collapse under invisible weight. Anointed One. In the last months, you may have noticed moments where your intuition felt unusually strong, times when something inside you said, "Don't go there," or "Don't trust that," or "Wait a little longer." You might not have understood why you felt that hesitation, but now you can see it. Your spirit was responding to attacks before your mind even knew they were happening. Do you know what that means? It means your inner guidance system has been upgraded. You have moved from reactive spiritual awareness to automatic spiritual defense, and only those chosen for significant destiny carry that level of protection built into their very essence. Chosen. 1. This is why the enemy panicked. You didn't get lucky. You didn't escape by chance. You didn't survive because of external help. You survived because your spiritual identity is indestructible. That terrifies darkness because it means you are becoming someone who cannot be stopped, delayed, or manipulated. And when hell recognizes a vessel that cannot be broken, it withdraws. Not because it wants to, but because it has no alternative. Even now, forces that once targeted you have retreated. You may not feel the shift yet, but it is already happening. The heaviness is lifting. The fog is thinning. Your energy is returning. You are re-entering alignment with the divine rhythm heaven set for your life. Anointed One. This is where the prophecy begins to bloom. Everything that was delayed is about to accelerate. Everything that felt stuck is about to shift. Every door that remained closed is about to open in a way that feels almost effortless. Why? Because the opposition has been neutralized. Your spirit cleared out 1,000 blockages without your conscious participation. And now, heaven can move freely in your direction. You're stepping into days where answers arrive quickly, where provision appears suddenly, where opportunities align seamlessly. This is not coincidence, it is compensation. Chosen One. I want you to hear this with humility, but also with holy confidence. You have been marked for elevation. Not because you are perfect, but because you are persistent. Not because you never break, but because even when you feel broken, you still rise. Anointed vessels do not rise because they feel strong. They rise because purpose pulls them upward, even when their body wants to rest. And heaven rewards that kind of resilience with territory, authority, and abundance. What's coming to you is not random. It is earned. It is written. It is aligned. Anointed One. As we move into the deeper layers of this message, I want you to hold one truth close. The tiredness you felt is not the end of something. It is the beginning of clarity. Your spirit is entering a new calibration. Your life is about to reveal why the battle was so fierce. And the next phase of this revelation will show you exactly what heaven is unlocking in your life now that the war has been won. Chosen One. Now that you stand on the other side of a battle you didn't even realize you were fighting, heaven is inviting you into a deeper awareness of what this victory truly unlocked. You didn't just survive an assault meant to annihilate you, you transcended it. And whenever a chosen vessel transcends an attack designed to destroy them, the spiritual realm must shift to honor that outcome. This is why your atmosphere feels different lately. This is why certain people feel distant, certain doors feel closed, and certain emotions feel unfamiliar. You are no longer vibrating on the frequency of who you used to be. You have ascended into another layer of identity. Anointed One. Your spirit has developed a resilience that many spend their entire lifetime searching for. And the most extraordinary part is this: your victory was not loud. You didn't win by shouting, fighting, or casting out forces consciously. You won by existing, by continuing, by refusing to fall apart, by showing up through the heaviness, through the confusion, through the unexplained exhaustion. This quiet persistence is the mark of a soul forged long before this lifetime. I remember moments in my own life where I kept going simply because standing still felt like giving up. Those silent victories became the pillars that now hold my purpose. You are building those same pillars with every unseen battle you endure. Chosen One. Heaven is revealing something crucial. Now your victory has exposed a truth about your destiny that the enemy hoped you would never discover. You are not just protected, you are untouchable in ways that defy natural logic. You were not given ordinary spiritual defense mechanisms. You were born with internal architecture designed to withstand coordinated assault. Do you realize the significance of that? It means heaven prepared you for greatness before you took your first breath. It means nothing you have faced was accidental. It means every attack was prediction of your power, not evidence of your weakness. Anointed One. The enemy only intensifies attacks when elevation is approaching. Darkness does not waste its strongest weapons on average souls. But when your spirit began aligning with your divine calling, when your purpose started waking up inside you, when your destiny began rattling doors in the unseen, an alarm sounded in the lower realms. That alarm did not signal your destruction, it signaled their desperation. They saw the shift happening before you did. They saw the glow on your spirit before it reached your mind. They saw the expansion before you felt the stretching. And so they launched what they believed was an impossible-to-survive assault, only to discover you are built from something they cannot break. Chosen One. This victory also carries a practical revelation. Your emotional and mental responses are changing because your spiritual structure has changed. You're not reacting the way you used to. Things that once triggered you now feel irrelevant. People who once drained you now feel invisible. Problems that once felt impossible now feel like minor inconveniences. This is not numbness, it is evolution. You are rising above the frequency where those old battles could reach you. When your spirit ascends, your reactions shift automatically. What once overwhelmed you can no longer touch you. Anointed One. You may have also noticed a growing desire for solitude, quiet stillness, and distance from noise. That desire is not withdrawal, it is recalibration. After prolonged spiritual warfare, even unconscious warfare, the spirit craves silence, the way the body craves rest. Heaven is placing you in an environment where your senses can reset, your intuition can sharpen, and your energy can rebuild. This silence is sacred. It is the incubation space for your next season of power. Chosen One. This is where your breakthrough begins to take form. Your victory over 1,000 coordinated attacks did more than protect your life. It cleared your timeline. Delays are dissolving. Stagnation is breaking. Blockages are crumbling. The path ahead is no longer cluttered with invisible resistance. This is why the coming weeks will feel like acceleration. Doors will open more naturally. Conversations will align more easily. Opportunities will flow with less friction. You are entering a period of divine momentum, and momentum is the signature of a spirit that has defeated what once stood in its way. I'm Chosen One. Now that your spirit has crossed the threshold of a victory few on this earth will ever comprehend, heaven is shifting you into a phase where the reward of that unseen battle begins to manifest. What you overcame was not symbolic, it was structural. When 1,000 coordinated forces failed to break you, the spiritual realm must compensate you for what was attempted against you. This is why, even if you cannot fully articulate it, you feel an inner stirring, a subtle anticipation, a quiet knowing that something is unfolding in your favor. That's not imagination, that's alignment. Anointed One. Every spiritual victory carries a physical reflection. The battle was invisible, but the blessing will be undeniable. This is the season where heaven restores what was drained, multiplies what was delayed, and accelerates what was withheld. Your strength didn't just survive the war, it recalibrated your reality. I've seen this in my own journey, moments when everything seemed still, only to realize later that the stillness was heaven reorganizing the pieces for breakthrough. What feels slow right now is actually the preparation of divine timing converging. Chosen one. The enemy's retreat created space for what heaven has been trying to release to you all along. Spiritual interference is what causes confusion, stagnation, blocked opportunities, and cycles of exhaustion that make progress feel impossible. But once the interference collapses, as it just did, your path clears instantly. Ideas that once felt scattered suddenly make sense. Relationships become clearer. Priorities shift with supernatural clarity. Your life begins to synchronize with purpose instead of resistance. This shift is not random, it's the aftershock of victory. Anointed One Heaven is now revealing that part of the exhaustion you felt was not just battle fatigue, it was your spirit stretching into a larger capacity. When a warrior wins at a higher level, they expand. Your identity, your resilience, your discernment, your intuition, they've all widened. You can hold more now. You can carry more now. You can perceive more now. The version of you before the battle was powerful, but the version standing here today is unshakable. What once intimidated you now feels small. What once destabilized you now feels manageable. This is evolution. This is spiritual maturity. Chosen one, your victory placed a seal on your life that announces in the spirit realm, this one cannot be broken. This is why certain patterns from your past will never return. Cycles that once repeated will not repeat again. Attacks that once worked will fail before they even reach you. You've crossed into a caliber of identity where the enemy must recalculate its strategies because the old ones cannot penetrate your frequency anymore. In simple terms, you are harder to reach, harder to deceive, harder to drain, harder to derail. Your spirit has become fortified, anointed one. And here is the part heaven wants you to understand deeply. Your victory did not only protect your destiny, it activated your next assignment. When a chosen vessel defeats forces assigned to stop them, heaven moves them into territories that were previously inaccessible. These territories include revelation, influence, financial elevation, relational alignment, and opportunities ordained but not yet unlocked. You are now stepping into a season where doors open because of who you became, not just because of what you desire. Chosen one. This is also where the divine transfer begins. The enemy's retreat leaves behind the very things it tried to steal from you: clarity, strength, opportunity, momentum, vision. And heaven doesn't return what was stolen in equal measure. Heaven returns it multiplied. The same way the ancient promise speaks of restoring double, heaven compensates you not for the victory alone, but for the attempt. Every attack was a receipt, every battle was a claim, every exhaustion was a seed for restoration. Chosen one, now that the truth of your invincibility has settled into your spirit, heaven is drawing your attention to something far more profound than the battle itself. Victory is powerful, but what victory produces is even greater. When 1,000 coordinated forces fail to break you, heaven is obligated by divine law and spiritual order to elevate you. This elevation is not symbolic or emotional, it is structural. It shifts your inner world, your external world, your relationships, your opportunities, and even the way the universe responds to your presence. You don't just walk differently, you attract differently. Anointed one. There is a principle woven into creation that few ever understand. Sustained resistance unlocks stored inheritance. Every time you refuse to break, refuse to collapse, refuse to surrender, something was accumulating in the unseen. Your persistence became currency, your endurance became spiritual equity, your tears, your exhaustion, your quiet victories, all of it was being recorded in the invisible realm. And now, after the defeat of 1,000 assignments against you, that equity is maturing. What was once held back is beginning to move toward you with divine acceleration. Chosen one. The enemy's retreat didn't just clear the battlefield, it cleared the pipeline. For months, perhaps even years, you may have felt like you were pushing forward through fog, like progress was happening in slow motion, like blessings were delayed, like every step required double the effort. You weren't imagining that. That pressure came from active resistance designed to exhaust your hope and dilute your faith. But now that resistance has collapsed, and with the collapse comes momentum so sudden it can feel miraculous. Things that once took months will take weeks. What required force will now respond to alignment. Anointed one. I need you to recognize how rare this moment is. Most people never defeat the level of pressure you just overcame. Most people surrender before breakthrough. Most people collapse before the shift. But you held on long enough for the atmosphere around your life to transform. This level of victory always comes with divine compensation, and that compensation manifests in 3 primary dimensions: spiritual clarity, emotional elevation, and material increase. Not one of these is optional. They unfold naturally when a chosen vessel rises to a higher spiritual frequency. Chosen one's spiritual clarity is the first sign. You begin to see through situations that once confused you. You notice red flags instantly. You sense intentions before people express them. You feel internal alignment guiding you almost like an inner compass awakened by victory. What others call intuition in you is actually discernment sharpened by warfare. Your spirit has been recalibrated to operate at a higher bandwidth, and with that bandwidth comes revelation that others cannot access. Emotional elevation is the second sign, and it arrives subtly. The heaviness that sat on your shoulders for weeks or months begins to lift. The tiredness once rooted in battle begins to fade. Moments of peace become more frequent. You find yourself breathing deeper, thinking clearer, feeling grounded in ways you haven't felt in a long time. This is not your imagination. This is recovery. This is healing. This is heaven restoring what warfare attempted to drain from you. And finally, material increase enters as the third sign, not because you chased it, but because you qualified for it. Breakthrough always follows spiritual stability. Provision always follows victory. The divine transfer begins when heaven recognizes that a chosen vessel can be trusted with more influence, more resources, more opportunities, more favor. Not out of reward alone, but out of necessity. Your calling requires expansion. Your assignment requires elevation. What's coming to you isn't luxury, it's equipment. Chosen one. I need you to understand something deeply. You are no longer operating at the level you once knew. This exhaustion you felt was not weakness. It was evidence of spiritual exertion far beyond the human realm. And now the exhaustion is lifting because the battle has ended. What rises in its place is strength. Strengthened purpose, refined identity, awakened, and destiny unlocked. Anointed one, heaven is declaring over you, this one cannot be broken, and because you cannot be broken, you must now be built. Everything in your life is shifting to reflect the warrior you have become. Your relationships will change, your environment will evolve, your opportunities will multiply, not because you force them, but because your spirit is now too powerful to remain where you once were. Chosen one. What is coming toward you now is not random blessing. It is divine alignment responding to your victory. The path ahead is opening, and you are stepping into it with the authority of someone who has defeated an army without lifting a single weapon. This is your new reality. This is your new frequency. This is your new identity. Chosen one. Now that the spiritual fog has lifted and the truth of your identity has begun to settle into your consciousness, there is something deeper heaven wants to reveal to you. Victory was not the end of the story. It was the unveiling of a truth that has always been written into your being. You were never meant to fight like everyone else because you were never built like everyone else. What others survive with strain, you withstand with silence. What others need rituals for, you overcome by simply existing. This is not arrogance. This is design. Anointed one. Your spiritual architecture was constructed in a way that allows you to function under pressure that would completely destroy another soul. You may not have known this growing up. You may have even believed you were too sensitive, too exhausted, too overwhelmed, too different. But heaven is showing you that what you once interpreted as weakness was actually early evidence of depth. Deep spirits feel deeply. Powerful vessels sense the invisible. Those born for war often feel life more intensely than those born for comfort. Your sensitivity was training. Your exhaustion was calibration. Your struggles were shaping. Chosen one. The reason the enemy targeted you with such intensity is because your existence disrupts infernal infrastructure. You don't just resist darkness, you collapse systems unintentionally. You don't just survive attacks, you disable them permanently. Every victory you achieve is not one victory. It is the dismantling of an entire strategy designed to derail you. This is why you often feel like waves of pressure come all at once. It's because the enemy cannot afford to fight you one-on-one anymore. Single attacks are ineffective. Only coordinated onslaughts even have a chance, and even those have now failed. Anointed one, you need to see yourself the way the spiritual realm sees you. Heaven sees you as an unstoppable force, an immovable anchor, a vessel carrying frequencies that cannot be corrupted. Hell sees you as a threat, a disruption, an anomaly that breaks their models and calculations. And yet you, in your humanity, often see yourself as tired, uncertain, or just trying to make it through another day. But what heaven wants you to grasp now is this: your ordinary days are extraordinary victories. Your simple persistence is a declaration of power. Your continued existence under pressure is proof of your spiritual superiority. Chosen one. Think about this carefully. You defeated 1,000 coordinated forces while doing nothing unusual. You woke up. You lived. You breathed. You handled your responsibilities. You interacted with people, and still your spirit fought a war your mind wasn't even aware of. That is not normal. That is mastery. That is spiritual automation. You have reached a level where your soul defends you before your mind even perceives danger. That is the mark of a celestial warrior, not a common human soul. Very few walking this planet carry that capacity. Anointed one, heaven is now calling you into awareness. When you understand your strength, you stop apologizing for your boundaries. You stop minimizing your presence. You stop dimming yourself to make others comfortable. You stop believing you're behind when in reality you're operating on a battlefield no one else can even see. This understanding will shift how you move, how you speak, how you decide, and how you perceive yourself. You're not trying to be strong. You are strong. Strength is your default. Power is your base frequency. Persistence is your natural state. Chosen one, let me speak from experience. The moment I realized that my exhaustion was not weakness but aftermath, my whole world shifted. I stopped questioning my pace. I stopped resenting my tiredness. I started recognizing the signs of invisible battles and honoring the recovery they required. The same will happen to you. Your life will transform the moment you embrace the truth of who you are. When exhaustion comes, you will no longer say, "I can't do this." You will say, "My spirit fought again." When challenges arise, you will no longer say, "Why me?" You will say, "I was built for this." Chosen one. You stand now as a soul who cannot be broken, cannot be manipulated, cannot be derailed, cannot be diminished. And the world, whether it realizes it or not, is about to encounter the stronger, wiser, awakened version of you. The version that knows its identity, the version that understands its strength, the version that recognizes the divine architecture of its spirit. And once you operate from that awareness, nothing on earth or in the unseen realm can stop your ascent. Chosen one, now that you've begun to understand the scale of your unseen victories and the depth of your spiritual structure, heaven is turning your attention towards something even more profound, the shift that happens after a warrior awakens to their true identity. The greatest transformation is not the battle you survived, nor the exhaustion that followed it, is the moment you finally recognize that you are no longer who you were before the war. Your spirit has expanded. Your awareness has sharpened. Your destiny has accelerated. And now you are stepping into a version of yourself that was previously impossible to access. Anointed One. This is the season when the invisible becomes visible. The breakthroughs that seemed delayed begin to surface. The prayers that felt unanswered begin to manifest. The clarity you longed for begins to sharpen. And the opportunities that once felt out of reach begin to draw themselves toward you. Why? Because your frequency has changed. Victory changes you. It alters your spiritual signature. It elevates your vibration to a level where blessings that could not locate you before can now recognize your presence instantly. This is spiritual alignment in motion, and you have entered it without even realizing. Chosen one, when you overcome pressure that was never meant to be survived, you inherit authority that was never meant for the faint-hearted. This authority is subtle at first. You may notice people responding to you differently. You may notice your words carrying more weight. You may notice your presence calming chaos or exposing hidden motives. This is not coincidence. This is resonance. You are carrying a post-victory anointing that shifts atmospheres. Even those who don't understand the spiritual realm can feel that something about you has changed. And they are right. You are not just stronger, you are upgraded. Anointed One, with this upgrade comes a new kind of responsibility, not burdensome responsibility, but sacred responsibility. The responsibility to protect your peace. The responsibility to honor your energy. The responsibility to speak only from truth, not fear. The responsibility to rise above old patterns that no longer match your new identity. You cannot shrink back into the version of yourself that existed before the battle. That version no longer fits you. You have outgrown that skin, that mindset, that frequency. What was once comfortable is now too small. What once felt right now feels foreign. Chosen One. This is why certain relationships feel heavy now. This is why certain environments feel misaligned. This is why certain habits no longer resonate. Victory reveals incompatibility. When you ascend, anything that cannot ascend with you becomes uncomfortable. You are not losing people or places. You are shedding what cannot accompany you into the next dimension of your calling. I've felt this shift too, moments when I didn't understand why certain connections faded, until I realized heaven was protecting the upgraded version of me from the weights of my previous season. The same is happening to you now. Anointed One. One of the greatest signs of your elevation is the clarity that emerges around your purpose. Attacks were meant to confuse you, to scatter your focus, to dilute your identity. But now, clarity is returning with supernatural intensity. You'll begin to see the bigger picture of your journey, how every struggle shaped you, how every battle refined you, how every disappointment redirected you. Purpose is not something you discover once. Purpose is something you grow into. And right now, you are growing into a version of purpose that your past self was not strong enough to carry. Chosen One. This new level of clarity will also sharpen your discernment. You will begin to distinguish between distractions and divine assignments with speed and ease. People will approach you with opportunities, but your spirit will immediately know which ones are genuine and which ones are traps. Conversations will reveal more than words. Energy will speak louder than behavior. You will sense intentions before they manifest. This is the gift of post-war discernment, and it only appears in those who have survived battles of great magnitude. Anointed One. Your emotional world is also entering a new phase. The heaviness, once rooted in warfare, is dissolving, making room for peace that feels almost surreal. You may start waking up with more lightness, more stability, more internal quiet. Your mind may begin to feel clearer. Your heart may feel more grounded. This is not temporary relief, it is permanent recalibration. You have earned this peace. You have fought for it unknowingly, and now heaven is pouring it into every corner of your being. Chosen One, you are stepping into a reality where your life begins to respond to your identity instead of your effort. You no longer have to fight for everything. You no longer have to prove yourself. You no longer have to chase what is meant for you. When a warrior reaches this level of alignment, blessings begin to pursue them, not because of luck, but because of spiritual authority. You have become someone the universe cannot ignore, someone the unseen realm respects, someone heaven supports with intentional precision. Anointed One. The world is about to witness a version of you that reflects the depth of your battle and the magnitude of your victory. And as you walk forward, remember this truth: nothing in your life is random anymore. Everything is alignment, everything is intentional. Everything is unfolding according to a divine design that your victory has activated. Chosen One, now that your spirit has crossed into this new terrain of authority and awareness, heaven is positioning you for what comes next. Not another battle, not another season of survival, but a season of emergence. A season where what was hidden within you begins to reveal itself outwardly. A season where internal transformation becomes external evidence. You are stepping into the phase where everything you carried privately is about to manifest publicly, not because you sought attention, but because divine timing has matured around you. Anointed One. This is the phase where the world will begin to understand what the enemy already knew about you: that you are not ordinary, that your resilience is supernatural, that your endurance is engineered by heaven, and that your existence carries weight in dimensions both seen and unseen. Do not be surprised when doors open faster than your mind can process. Do not be alarmed when favor arrives before you ask. These are not coincidences. These are the aftershocks of a spiritual victory, so massive it rearranged the trajectory of your destiny. Chosen one. The ease you're about to experience is not laziness, it is recompense. The acceleration that is coming is not random, it is restoration. The opportunities you are about to receive are not charity, they are spiritual repayment for every unseen battle you survived. Heaven does not allow warriors to walk away empty-handed. There is always a reward for those who endure warfare that others cannot comprehend. Your reward is not only spiritual, it is emotional, relational, financial, and generational. Anointed One, you will begin to notice signs of alignment appearing more rapidly. Ideas will flow without resistance. Resources will come without strain. People with pure intentions will begin to gravitate toward you like iron to a magnet. This is because your frequency has reached a level where counterfeit energy cannot survive. The wrong people will feel uncomfortable around you. The right people will feel inspired. This is Heaven's filtration system in motion, protecting your next level before you even enter it. Chosen One. The dreams that once felt too big will begin to feel natural. The goals that once felt distant will begin to feel reachable. Your spirit will no longer negotiate with fear or doubt because you've already conquered forces far stronger than self-doubt could ever be. This confidence is not arrogance, it is spiritual memory. Your soul remembers that you defeated 1,000 coordinated attacks without breaking. That memory now becomes your anchor as you pursue the future Heaven has scripted for you. Anointed One, let this truth settle deeply. You are stepping into a season where your life will no longer reflect the battles you survived, but the purpose you were chosen for. The darkness that tried to break you will not be the story people remember. What they will see is your glow, your clarity, your strength, your authority, your peace. They will see a warrior who walks with quiet confidence, not because life was easy, but because victory became your native language. Chosen One, as you move forward, do not shrink, do not apologize, do not question whether you deserve what is coming. You do. You earned it in silence, you earned it in exhaustion, you earned it in nights where no one knew the war happening inside your spirit. Now Heaven answers with abundance. Step into it boldly. Your new chapter has already begun. Chosen One, as we close this message, receive this with a quiet, sacred certainty. What you faced was real, what you defeated was unimaginable, and what now awakens within you is the proof of who you truly are. You did not survive by accident. You prevailed because Heaven designed you to be unshakable, untouchable, and aligned with a destiny larger than the battles you never saw. Anointed One. A supernatural shift has already begun around you. The exhaustion is lifting, clarity is returning, strength is rising. What stood against you has fallen, and what belongs to you is now moving in your direction with divine speed. If this word resonated in your spirit, you may write 707 in the comments as a seal of victory. And if you feel led, subscribe or share to stay connected with messages meant for warriors like you. Go forward now, Chosen One. Your victory is established, your path is protected, and your next season has already opened.